Brenda J. Lilly here with the Bridge Artistic Network. I wanted to put out a small disclaimer before we launch into today's video. I am not a licensed therapist. I am just a fellow creative artist who hopes to encourage, engage, and hopefully empower other creative artists to go out and live their art dream. Okay, here we go into today's video. I hope you enjoy it. Well, happy Tuesday, everybody. Brenda J. Lilly here with the Bridge Artistic Network. Today is Tuesday, December 23rd. Wow, it is almost the end of December. How did we even get here? This year has gone by so fast. I hope you like this video. If you do, give us a thumbs up, like it, subscribe to the channel, but most importantly, share it with people you know so that we can all continue to become who we were created to be. All right, I'll see you on the flip side. Well, good Tuesday afternoon, everybody. Wow, what a journey it's been to just try to get this video recorded today. Almost an impossibility. So let's try to get this Tuesday talk back done, recorded, and sent to y'all. Because it's almost Christmas. So let's talk about what I think the magic of this season is. And perhaps you will agree with me, and perhaps you won't. I just don't know. But we're all on this journey together. So let's talk about it. I had a couple of really amazing and busy weeks prior to this week. And I went to a friend's house party on Sunday after church. And so Sunday was a huge day. And then I drove home yesterday morning and had to go last minute Christmas shopping. Get the last few things I needed before the holiday actually it's like slammed into us, right? I drove into the parking lot of this store and the place was packed. And I knew that was going to happen, but I literally had not seen so many cars in the parking lot in a very long time. So I parked my car and I was like, wow, this is going to be a trip. And then I just sort of took a deep, abiding breath. And I decided instead of going in with my defenses up and just pushing through and trying to get it done as quickly as possible, what if I went in with a smile on my face, not in a rush and hurry? And as I saw people and made eye contact with people, just smile at them and wish them a Merry Christmas. What if I just took deep breaths as I walked through the store and just brought joy and peace and love in with me rather than rush, hurry, angst, and with me. And so I walked into the store and I went to grab a trolley, and this gentleman came running over and he goes, "Oh, you can have, oh, never mind." And I was like, "It's okay. Merry Christmas." And he was like, "Merry Christmas." And I walked slowly to this little section, and there were a lot of people around this area. And I knew exactly what I was looking for, but there were a lot of people milling around. And so I just took my time. And this woman looked at me and said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. My cart is in your way." And I was like, "It's okay. I'm not in a rush. Take your time." And she was like, "Thank you." And I was like, "Merry Christmas." And she wished me a Merry Christmas. We all got what we needed. And then I moved on to the next section. And I moved on to the next section. And I was in that store for about an hour. And I had about 10 or 15 little conversations like that. And I can honestly say, when I got back out to my car, I was filled with joy. I was filled with peace. I didn't feel discombobulated at all or like overwhelmed by the amount of people that were there. And in fact, my experience of it was that it didn't feel like there were too many people there. I think there were probably more people than I thought, but because I was so calm, it didn't feel overwhelming to me because I had chosen joy, because I had chosen to be the light, to share my light and my love with people. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. And so I did. And I had a wonderful time. And there was only one person in that store who, for whatever reason, refused joy, love, light, levity. I can't change people. That's not what I'm meant to do. It's not what I'm here for. I can't change you. You can't change me. Only I can change myself. My journey to changing and becoming and growing, that's between me and God, and we're on it. We're in it, we're on it, and we're working at it. But no matter how hard you try, you cannot change someone. You can inform them. You can create scenarios and situations in which people will do what you ask them to do, even if it's not in their nature to do it. But the minute that scenario's over and you are no longer there, if they choose not to embrace whatever it is that you were doing together, they, they won't keep doing it. They haven't actually changed. I just created an opportunity for someone to see life in a different way, to do life in a different way, to approach life in a different way. I can't make people choose, but I can bring all the love, light, and joy that is within me on my journey and share it with others. And in fact, I think that is my job. Schumann said that to bring light into the darkness, that is the job of the artist. That is an artist's job. That's our work, to bring light into the darkness. And this season, one of the things I love about the Christmas tree is the lights on the Christmas tree and how it just illuminates the whole room and brings a gentle light that just permeates the darkness. These are the longest dark days of the year. And so how cool is it that we have an extra source of light that we can bring into our homes? Magic. That we are a source of light for others. Magic. And that those others, yeah, they're what matter. I remember when I was a little kid, oh, I loved the gifts around the tree. But one of the biggest things that was so different about our Christmases was that mom and dad were home together. That didn't happen a lot. When dad was working, mom was home. When mom was working, dad was home. So Christmas, Thanksgiving, these 2 days, these 2 days of the year, we got to be together. And that was precious. And I don't know that I really recognized it when I was a little kid, other than I loved having both of them. But I don't know that I clocked this is precious time. This is memory making time. I don't know what kid does that. But as an adult, I look back on those times and I think that's what that holiday was so about. That's what was so important. And so when my mom got older and she started saying, "I hate Christmas." And yet we would sit and we would watch every single Hallmark Christmas movie ever made, and she loved those. Loved them. And I would look at her and I say, "So you don't hate Christmas?" I was like, "Because you love watching these movies." And she was like, "Yes, that's the ideal of Christmas. It's not about, but Christmas is so much about, oh, what are you going to get? What do you want for Christmas? What do the perfect gift, the perfect meal, the perfect dress, the perfect church service, it's all got to be so, and it's, why do we have to only give gifts to each other on this one day of the year? Why do I have to have so much pressure on this one day of year?" And so she was responding not to the idea of the Christmas season, which she quite liked, but the pressure of perfection and the pressure of having to get the just right thing or things, spending money on stupid things that you didn't need. She was a very, very practical woman. And I think the older I get, the more like her I am. Not that I hate Christmas. I don't think I will ever hate Christmas. The magic of Christmas to me is just magical. The whole holiday season to me, I love decorating my house. I love going to a certain few parties, not all of the parties, but I do love going to them, talking with people, being with people. And that's where I realized what the magic for me really is about. It's not about decking the halls. Yeah, I love doing it, and that makes me happy. So I guess that is a part of the magic. But this Christmas season, I've not been home for Christmas in a long time. I was a missionary on the mission field, and so I was away for 14 years, and I've had a few Christmases at home in those 14 years, but this it's been 5 years. And I look at it and I go, what do I truly want? When somebody asks me what I want for Christmas, I say, I don't know. Time. So last week when my brother said on his day off, "Hey, let's go Christmas shopping." We drove up to New Hampshire, which isn't very far for us. And we went shopping in New Hampshire, and I think I was in the second store and I was like, "Oh, we should go to the Vermont Country Store." He's like, "It's too far away. It's too far away." And I was like, "It's not that far away." He was like, "It's hours away." I said, "No, it's not hours away. It's about an hour away." He's like, "No, it's not that close." Yes. So after I came out of the third store, I got into the car, convinced that we were just going to go to lunch and go home. And he looked at me and he goes, let's go to the Vermont country store. You're right. It's not that far away. So off we went. We drove up the mountain and we got to the Vermont country store. And on the way there, we were just talking about stuff and life and Christmas. And he said, well, what do you want for Christmas? And I said, well, if I'm honest, this is the best gift you could have ever given me. So just your time, just some time with you. That's all. This this is the best gift. And I think that is the magic that this season can hold for each and every one of us. If we unplug from some of what the world is telling us is of import, just a little bit, take a deep breath and look at the people in your life who you love, who you're with, who you're surrounded by, and realize the best gift you can give each and every one of them is spending time with them, making sure they know that they are precious and they are loved and they bring your life joy. So, my friends, Merry Christmas to you and yours from my house and mine. I love you. I will see you next week after this very, very wonderful and magical holiday. Have a great week, everybody. Hey, thank you so much for watching our video. I hope you liked it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, subscribe. What are you waiting for? All right. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Bye.